Have you ever wondered if you're fully utilizing your car's hidden features? Many drivers go 5 or 10 years without discovering built-in tools designed to boost safety, comfort, and savings. From a secret mechanical key tucked inside your remote to one-button window, venting for heat escape, or even blind spot warnings and automatic speed control on downhill slopes, these can completely transform your driving experience. In this video, you'll uncover 13 little-known but incredibly useful secrets that can save you in emergencies and make every drive smarter and safer. Like and subscribe to the channel if this video helps you. 1. Hidden mechanical key in the key fob. Most of us are used to pressing a button to unlock the car, but few know that inside that sleek key fob lies a hidden mechanical key. This seemingly redundant detail has saved countless drivers from frustrating situations. Picture this. You're at a parking lot after a long day, frantically pressing the remote to unlock the door, but the battery's dead, the sun's blazing, your hands are full, and all you want is to get in the car. That's when the hidden mechanical key becomes a lifesaver. Usually there's a small latch on the side or back of the fob. Slide or press it, and you'll pull out the key. The lock on the car is often hidden too, typically behind a small plastic cover on the door handle. Many drivers go years without noticing this feature. Once you know it, you'll never worry about a dead fob battery or electronic lock glitch stranding you. It's not just a backup, it's a clever design touch, adding an extra layer of security so you're not entirely reliant on electronics. DUS, Extendable Sun Visor. When the sun dips low and blinds you, the standard sun visor often falls short. You flip it down, but sunlight still sneaks in from the side, streaming through the window and hitting your eyes. That glare is not just annoying, it's dangerous, as a moment's distraction can make you miss a hazard on the road. The surprising thing? Many cars have a built-in fix that most drivers overlook: the extendable sun visor. Hidden inside the visor is often a sliding panel. Pull it out, and it covers the gap at the side, blocking light that regular visors miss. This small adjustment makes a big difference. Your eyes stay comfortable, your vision isn't interrupted by flashes of light, and you can focus fully on the road ahead. It's a perfect example of a simple feature that significantly boosts safety and comfort while driving. 3. Fuel cap direction arrow. Have you ever driven an unfamiliar car, pulled into a gas station, and struggled to figure out which side the fuel cap is on? You lean out the window, check the mirrors, or even get out to look. It sounds funny, but almost everyone's been there at least once. The surprising part? The answer is right in front of you, on the dashboard, next to the familiar fuel pump icon. If you look closely, you'll see a small arrow pointing left or right. That arrow is the secret telling you exactly where the fuel cap is. No guessing, no waving to the gas station attendant for help. Just a quick glance gives you the answer. This tiny detail is a lifesaver for anyone driving different cars, like rentals, borrowed vehicles, or company cars. Car makers have included this feature for years, but it's so subtle that most drivers miss it. Not only does it save time at the pump, but it also prevents the awkward and potentially unsafe moment of pulling up on the wrong side, backing up, or turning around in a busy station. 4. Lower windows with the remote. In the summer, we've all felt that blast of scorching air when opening a car door, like stepping into a mobile oven. The dashboard burns, the seats steam, and the steering wheel is too hot to hold for long. Most people fumble to crank the AC to max, but it takes minutes for the cabin to cool. What many don't know is that a lot of cars have a handy feature. You can lower all the windows using the remote with a simple action. Your key fob isn't just for unlocking doors or setting the alarm. On many models, holding the unlock button for a few seconds makes all windows roll down automatically. Some cars require 2 quick presses and a hold, or you may need to enable it in the settings. This lets hot air escape quickly, allowing cooler outside air to rush in before you even step inside. The best part? It's completely free, requires no modifications, and needs no extra equipment. Try it today, and if your car supports it, you'll be amazed at the convenience. It's especially helpful for quickly cooling the car for kids or pets before they get in. 5. Anti-glare rearview mirror toggle. If you've driven at night, you've likely felt the annoyance of headlights from a car behind you beaming straight into your eyes through the rearview mirror. The glare isn't just uncomfortable, it reduces visibility and can distract you, raising the risk of an accident. But many don't realize their traditional rearview mirror has a simple fix: an anti-glare toggle. With a gentle flick of the small tab under the mirror, it shifts the angle of reflection, scattering the harsh light from headlights so it no longer blinds you. The view behind remains clear enough to monitor traffic, but it's much gentler on your eyes, making night driving safer and more comfortable. This design has been around for decades, yet because it's so subtle, many drivers go years without using it. In newer cars, this feature is upgraded to auto-dimming electronic mirrors. Sensors detect bright light and darken the mirror's surface automatically. No action is needed. Whether manual or automatic, the goal is the same: protect your eyes and keep you focused on the road at night. 6. Trunk escape handle. It might sound unusual, but this is one of the most critical safety features few notice. Imagine being trapped in your car's trunk, a scenario that seems like something out of a movie but has happened, especially with kids or in unexpected emergencies. Before 2002, dozens of deaths occurred yearly from people trapped in trunks due to suffocation or heat stroke. Since then, U.S. law has required all passenger cars to have an internal trunk escape handle. This handle is often brightly colored or glow in the dark, making it easy to spot in an emergency. One pull releases the trunk lock, letting anyone inside escape without tools. It's not just a lifesaver for kids who might climb in while playing. It could be a critical exit route in worst-case scenarios. Surprisingly, many owners never check if their car has this feature or even remove it, thinking it's unnecessary. But that's a risky choice. This small, low-cost part could mean the difference between life and death in a critical moment. 7. Speed-sensitive volume control. Have you noticed your car's music getting louder and clearer on the highway, but feeling a bit too loud at a stoplight? If so, your car might have a smart feature many drivers don't know about: speed-sensitive volume control. Here's how it works. As you speed up, road noise from wind, tires, and the engine grows louder, making you want to turn up the volume. Instead of constantly adjusting the radio, this system uses a speed sensor and cabin microphone to measure noise levels. When you accelerate, it automatically boosts the volume to counter the background noise. When you slow down, it lowers the volume, creating a quieter, calmer space without startling you. This not only makes driving more comfortable, but also safer. You don't have to fiddle with the radio or screen while driving, reducing distractions. On long trips, it keeps music balanced. Not too quiet on roaring highways or too loud in city stops. Many owners have this feature, but accidentally turn it off in the settings or never know to enable it. If your car's volume seems to change mysteriously, check the infotainment menu for Speed Volume, or SVC. Turn it on, and you'll enjoy a smoother, more natural audio experience. 8. Wiper maintenance mode. Have you ever struggled to replace wiper blades because the wiper arms are stuck under the hood and won't lift? Some even yank them hard, risking bending the wiper mechanism. The truth is, most modern cars have a wiper maintenance mode, but sadly, few drivers know about it. This mode lets the wiper arms stand upright, away from the windshield, making cleaning or blade replacement easier and safer. Activating it is simple. Usually, you just turn off the ignition, then quickly flick the wiper control for a few seconds. The wipers will stop in a raised position instead of their usual tucked-away spot. Some cars require a specific button combination or a setting in the menu, a process that takes mere seconds. The benefits are clear. Raised wipers make it easy to clean dirt, leaves, or thin ice off the windshield without forcing your hand into tight spaces. Replacing blades becomes safer, avoiding scratches on the glass if the wiper snaps back unexpectedly. In cold climates, this is a lifesaver, preventing wipers from freezing to the windshield and risking motor burnout if you accidentally flip the switch. 9. Hidden storage under seats or floor. While many drivers complain about limited storage space, they're often overlooking a hidden treasure built right into the car's interior. Many SUVs, minivans, and trucks come with concealed storage compartments under the seats or floor, yet most owners never notice or use them. These compartments are cleverly designed and easy to access, but nearly invisible unless you look closely. With a quick lift of a seat, a pull on a floor panel, or a tug on a small handle, you'll find a handy space big enough for emergency tools, rain gear, a small fire extinguisher, personal items, or valuables you want to hide when parking in public. Some models even have waterproof compartments, perfect for storing cold items or things prone to mold. These compartments don't just maximize space, they add safety and tidiness. Instead of cluttering the trunk or back seats, you can keep everything neatly tucked away, keeping the cabin clean and spacious. When needed, items are just seconds away. Best of all, it adds peace of mind in public parking lots, as valuables stay out of sight. Sadly, many owners never check or try these compartments, some discovering them only after years of ownership. 10. Auto lock when walking away. Have you ever walked a few steps from your car, then stopped, wondering, did I lock the doors? That moment of doubt often sends you back to press the remote or tug a handle to be sure. But many modern cars have a smart feature that eliminates this worry. Auto lock when you walk away. It's simple. When the key fob leaves the car's sensor range, the system automatically locks all doors. Some cars let you set a delay, like 30 seconds or a minute, so you have time to grab forgotten items from the cabin. Certain models even add a beep or light flash to confirm the car is securely locked. This feature brings real benefits. First, it protects your belongings, especially when you're rushed or carrying bags. Second, it reduces the risk of theft due to forgetting to lock, a common cause of stolen cars or items. Most importantly, it offers peace of mind. You don't need to glance back or press the remote again. The car handles it for you. Surprisingly, not all drivers know their car has this feature. Many go years without activating it, simply because they haven't explored the settings. On some models, you can enable or tweak it in the infotainment system with just a few taps. 11. Ventilated seats and cooled storage. These features seem like luxury add-ons, but many cars quietly include them to boost driver and passenger comfort. Imagine a sweltering summer day. Instead of sitting on scorching leather seats, you feel cool air gently flowing through your back and thighs. That's thanks to ventilated seats with tiny vents tied to the AC system. The steady stream of cold air lowers body temperature, reduces sweat, and keeps you comfortable on long drives. For drivers on long hauls or wearing suits, it's a true game changer. Alongside this, some cars have a cooled storage compartment, often in the center console or behind the seats. Using the AC's cold air, it keeps water bottles, soda cans, or even a child's milk box chilled. This small detail makes a big difference. No need for a cooler or worrying about drinks warming up after hours. The sad part? Many owners never realize their car has these features. Some sit in their vehicle for years without noticing the small console compartment can cool drinks or that their seats can ventilate. 12. Downhill assist control. If you've ever driven down a long, steep hill, you know the feeling of your foot straining to hold the brake pedal, exhausted and worried about overheating the brakes. That's where downhill assist control, or hill descent control, comes in, a feature many drivers overlook. It's brilliantly simple. The system automatically manages braking and gear selection to maintain a steady speed, typically between 3 and 20 mph that you set. You don't need to touch the brake or gas pedal. The car creeps down the slope safely and smoothly. This is a game changer on mountain roads, slippery hills, or off-road trails. It not only gives you peace of mind, but also protects the brake system from overheating and reduces wear. Many drivers mistakenly think this is only for off-road vehicles and ignore it. But even in everyday scenarios, like steep parking garage ramps, long overpasses, or wet roads, this feature helps control the car better, especially for new drivers. Activating it is easy, usually with a button near the gear shift or center console, often marked with an icon of a car descending a slope. Once on, a light signals it's active, letting you release the brake and focus on the road. The safety and ease are a stark contrast to white-knuckling the brake pedal. 13. Blind spot monitoring with mirror or warning lights. One of the most understated yet incredibly useful safety features is often ignored by drivers. When driving, especially on highways or in busy city streets, blind spots, areas beside and behind the car that mirrors can't fully cover, cause countless accidents during lane changes, passing, or merging. To address this, car makers include blind spot monitoring, using indicators in the side mirrors or warning lights on the A-pillars. It works with radar or cameras at the rear of the car, constantly scanning both sides. When a vehicle enters your blind spot, a small icon, usually a triangle or glowing dot, appears on the side mirror. If you signal to change lanes while an obstacle is detected, the system may beep or flash more intensely. Some high-end models even vibrate the steering wheel to alert you. The benefits are obvious. You don't need to crane your neck or guess blindly. Potential dangers are flagged right in front of you. This is especially helpful for SUVs, trucks, or high-clearance vehicles with larger blind spots than sedans. Many side collisions could be avoided thanks to this small feature. Did you know your car is packed with hidden features you might never have used? From the mechanical key in the fob to the anti-glare mirror toggle, secret storage compartments, and blind spot warnings, these are all designed to boost safety, comfort, and protection in unexpected moments. Don't let them stay dormant. Explore, activate, and make the most of them. Sometimes a single small detail can save you from major risks while making every drive more comfortable and secure. You can transform your car to be faster, more powerful, and more responsive with upgrades that are banned, highly controversial, but undeniably effective. These aren't for the faint of heart. Done right, they can significantly boost horsepower, improve performance, and deliver an exhilarating driving experience. But not everyone dares to try, as they come with legal and technical risks. And be warned, the last upgrade is so potent that even professional tuners debate it, and police are trained to spot it. Comment number 1 and like this video, and I'll reveal something even more shocking. 10. Catalytic Converter Delete. The Catalytic Converter Delete, or removing the CAT, is one of the most controversial upgrades in the car tuning world. Technically, the catalytic converter is designed to reduce harmful emissions, helping your car meet environmental standards. But it also creates a bottleneck in the exhaust system, restricting airflow and indirectly limiting engine power. Removing it frees up the exhaust flow almost instantly, letting the engine breathe better, rev faster, and respond more sharply to the throttle. Many drivers report a noticeable horsepower boost from the first press of the gas pedal. However, this isn't a harmless mod. In most U.S. states, removing the catalytic converter is illegal, leading to hefty fines or even orders to restore the original setup during inspections. It also increases harmful emissions, creates a stronger raw fuel smell, and can be a nuisance in residential areas. If you're set on trying it, consider a high-flow catalytic converter instead. It improves exhaust flow while staying legal in many areas. This is a double-edged sword upgrade, and it's why police are trained to spot it the moment you drive by. 9. ECU Tuning for Emissions Defeat. ECU Tuning for Emissions Defeat, or tuning the ECU to bypass emissions checks, is a trick car enthusiasts know treads a fine legal line. The ECU, your car's brain, is programmed to meet strict emission standards. But with custom software, you can disable or reduce these limits, unlocking the engine's full potential. The result? Significant horsepower gains, near instant throttle response, and a much livelier driving feel. Some tunes even eliminate turbo lag, making the car surge powerfully even at low RPMs. but the cost is steep. In many U.S. states, tampering with the ECU to cheat emissions tests is illegal, with fines reaching thousands of dollars. Plus, sloppy tuning can lead to overheating, higher fuel consumption, and faster engine wear. For tuners, this is a double-edged sword. It delivers incredible performance but carries legal and technical risks. If you want to try it, find a reputable tuner, understand your local laws, and be ready for the fact that one OBD scan can expose everything. 8. Cold air intake MAF sensor mod. The cold air intake paired with an MAF sensor mod is what seasoned car enthusiasts call the cheapest way to make your car breathe better and feel faster. Essentially, engines love cool, oxygen-rich air. A cold air intake pulls air from a cooler area outside the engine bay, instead of the hot air near the engine. A drop of a few dozen degrees in air temperature can increase oxygen density, improving combustion efficiency, boosting horsepower, and sharpening throttle response. But that's just the start. The MAF sensor, measuring airflow into the engine, dictates how the ECU adjusts the air-fuel mix. Modifying or tweaking the MAF to read higher airflow tricks the ECU into injecting more fuel, creating a richer mix for more power. The result? That choked feeling vanishes, and acceleration becomes seamless, especially in mid to high RPMs. The catch: in some U.S. states, modifying the MAF to bypass emission standards or using a non-carb certified intake is illegal. Plus, if not calibrated properly, you might trigger a check engine light or experience jerky performance due to an incorrect air-fuel ratio. Modern ECUs with self-adjusting algorithms can also reduce the mod's effectiveness without proper software tuning. From my experience, to make this mod truly effective, invest in a high-quality, certified cold air intake and pair it with professional ECU tuning instead of just tricking the MAF. This boosts performance, minimizes legal risks, and protects engine longevity. And remember, an experienced emissions inspector can spot this mod with one glance under the hood. So think carefully before deciding to let your car breathe deeper. Resonator and muffler delete. The resonator and muffler delete, what car enthusiasts jokingly call letting your car speak its true voice, is a bold modification. Resonators and mufflers are designed for one main purpose: to lower exhaust noise to a polite level and eliminate harsh frequencies. They keep your car quiet, meet noise regulations, and keep the neighbors happy. But they also restrict exhaust flow, slightly reducing engine performance and throttle response. Removing the resonator and muffler allows exhaust gases to flow almost freely, reducing back pressure and letting the engine breathe better at high RPMs. The result is livelier acceleration, a deep, aggressive exhaust roar, and a race car-like sound on the street. Many drivers notice faster revs, sharper throttle response, and even more gains when paired with mods like a cold air intake or ECU tune. But there's a downside to this game. In many U.S. states, removing the muffler or resonator violates noise and emission standards, leading to hefty fines or orders to revert to stock during inspections. Some areas, like California, have strict noise laws with fines reaching hundreds of dollars, and police can pull you over just for an overly loud exhaust. Plus, without mufflers, cabin noise can spike, especially on long drives, fatiguing both driver and passengers. Technically, a poorly executed delete can cause drone, a constant humming at certain RPMs that makes driving less pleasant. The solution is to use a properly designed exhaust system with the right materials and pipe diameter, or replace the muffler resonator with performance versions instead of removing them entirely. This video was made to make your life better, so don't hold back on giving it a like. 6. Fuel System Return Line Mod. The Fuel System Return Line mod may sound like a minor tweak, but it's a subtle upgrade that makes the engine respond smoother and more consistently, especially for high-performance or heavily modified cars that run at high RPMs. Most modern cars use a returnless fuel system, where fuel pressure is regulated in the tank or near the pump, then sent directly to the injectors. This reduces fuel circulation, limits evaporation, and meets emission standards. But it can cause unstable fuel pressure during sudden engine load changes, especially in tuned cars, turbo setups, or high heat conditions. Adding or restoring a fuel return line allows excess fuel to flow back to the tank. This keeps pressure at the injector rail steady, reducing the risk of a lean air-fuel mix when you floor the gas. For high-performance engines, this means smoother revs, sharper throttle response, and better power delivery at high RPMs. Plus, a return line keeps fuel cooler by circulating it constantly, preventing fuel vapor lock, when overheated fuel evaporates in the lines, causing power loss or stalling. This is common in cars driven in hot climates or during long races. But this mod isn't legal everywhere. Some states and countries ban fuel system alterations due to leak or emissions concerns. If done poorly, using low-quality hoses, fittings, or pressure regulators, you risk fire hazards or serious leaks. And naturally, this changes the car's original setup, potentially failing emissions tests or voiding warranties. My advice: if you do this mod, use an adjustable fuel pressure regulator and high-pressure hoses, and have it installed by a pro experienced with performance fuel setups. Done right, you'll get a car that responds instantly, stays cooler, and avoids power dips during overtaking or hard acceleration. Done wrong, you're trading for risks and big repair bills. 5. Airbag suspension conversion. Airbag suspension conversion, or air suspension, is one of the most controversial yet captivating upgrades. It's not just about slamming the car to the ground or raising it in seconds. It completely transforms how the car handles the road. In stock setups, most cars use steel springs or torsion bars, which are stiff and have a fixed height. Air suspension replaces these with flexible airbags inflated or deflated via a compressor and control valves. With a button press, you can raise the car to clear potholes, climb hills, or enter parking lots, then lower it for better aerodynamics, less drag, and improved grip at high speeds. For car enthusiasts, the appeal is also visual. A car slammed to the ground when parked looks cool and unique, turning heads. For practical drivers, air suspension offers a smoother ride, especially on rough roads, as air pressure can be adjusted to absorb shocks optimally. You can carry heavy loads without the car sagging, maintaining proper ground clearance and balance. But this flexibility is why air suspension is banned or restricted in some places. Certain states and countries mandate minimum ride heights for safety, and air suspension can violate this if lowered too much on the road. Plus, if installed poorly, the system can leak air, deflate bags, or lose pressure suddenly while driving, posing a safety risk. Cost is another hurdle. A quality air suspension kit with electronic controls can cost thousands to tens of thousands of dollars, not including installation. Repairs require specialized mechanics and parts, making maintenance pricier than traditional suspensions. 4. Variable valve timing elimination. Variable valve timing, VVT. Elimination, or disabling the variable valve timing system, is one of the most extreme upgrades that car enthusiasts both love and fear. For performance junkies, it simplifies the engine to focus purely on power within a specific RPM range. But for experienced mechanics, it's a double-edged sword that can make your car faster or ruin it quickly if done wrong. VVT is designed by manufacturers to balance two goals: power and fuel efficiency. At low RPMs, it ensures smooth operation and better gas mileage. At high RPMs, it adjusts valve timing to increase air intake and exhaust flow, boosting horsepower. Eliminating VVT locks the valve timing at a fixed point, usually optimized for high RPMs, resulting in quicker throttle response and a sharper, more aggressive driving feel. For race cars or tow vehicles, this can be a game changer. The engine no longer compromises between efficiency and power, channeling all its performance into maximum horsepower within the desired RPM range. The result is faster revs, a raw and intense engine sound, and a driving experience like commanding a pure power machine. But this is why VVT elimination is illegal in many areas. Without VVT, the engine often exceeds emission standards, since valve timing isn't optimized across all RPMs. Plus, running at high RPMs constantly increases heat and stress on engine components, shortening lifespan without supporting upgrades like enhanced cooling, high-performance oil, or specialized camshafts. The cost of VVT elimination isn't as high as other mods, but the risks are significant. Mechanics must retune the ECU and ensure the intake, exhaust, ignition, and lubrication systems are perfectly synced. A sloppy job can cause engine knocking, loss of low-end torque, or even catastrophic engine failure after just a few thousand miles. If this tip saves you money, comment number 2. 3. Straight pipe exhaust with bypass valves. Straight pipe exhaust with bypass valves, or a straight-through exhaust with switchable valves, is an upgrade that sparks endless debates among neighbors, police, and car enthusiasts. Essentially, it's an almost unrestricted exhaust system that lets gases flow directly from the engine to the outside, bypassing the catalytic converter and muffler, while incorporating valves to toggle between quiet mode and roaring mode. When the valves are closed, exhaust flows through a muffler or stock system, keeping noise low and street legal. But when open, the engine's raw sound is unleashed. For V8 or V12 engines, this isn't just loud. It's sharp, aggressive, and feels like standing in the pit lane of a racetrack. Plus, removing nearly all exhaust restrictions reduces back pressure, improves flow, and can add a few horsepower, especially at high RPMs, while sharpening throttle response. Speed enthusiasts love straight pipe exhausts with bypass valves for their versatility. Quiet for the daily commute, but one button press delivers race car sound and power. Some systems even offer Bluetooth control, letting you open the valves via your phone or sync with driving modes. But the cost isn't just financial. In many US states, running in straight pipe mode on public roads is illegal due to excessive noise and bypassing emissions controls. Police can issue hefty fines if they catch you with open valves in a residential area. Plus, unfiltered exhaust produces a strong raw fuel smell and darker emissions, which those behind you won't appreciate. Technically, poorly designed or installed bypass valves can get stuck open or closed, causing leaks or loss of exhaust pressure. This not only hurts performance, but can make your car rattle annoyingly. 2. Manual transmission swap. Manual transmission swap, or converting from an automatic to a manual gearbox, is one of the most technical and personality-driven upgrades you can do to your car. For many drivers, the feel of pressing the clutch, shifting gears, and controlling RPMs creates a direct connection with the machine under the hood. But it's not just about driving feel. A manual swap can make your car more durable, lighter, and sometimes more powerful on the track. The reason many choose a manual swap is that a manual gearbox lets you maximize engine power across all RPM ranges, especially with naturally aspirated or high-performance turbo engines. Automatic transmissions, while convenient, have shift delays and often limit RPMs to protect components. With a manual, you decide exactly when to shift, keeping RPMs high for acceleration or downshifting quickly to overtake. Mechanically, a manual swap involves replacing the transmission, adding a clutch pedal assembly, swapping the drive shaft, reprogramming or replacing the ECU, and sometimes modifying the floor pan to fit the new shifter. For modern cars, this is complex due to electronic systems monitoring the transmission, requiring deep knowledge and the right parts. The benefits go beyond performance. Manual transmissions have simpler designs, with fewer hydraulic or electronic parts to fail, making long-term maintenance cheaper and better suited for high-torque loads if you choose the right gearbox. Many track-focused sports cars stick with manuals for this durability. Plus, a swap can reduce overall weight by ditching the heavier components of an automatic and its fluid cooling system. But there are downsides. In some U.S. states, changing the transmission from the registered stock setup can cause inspection failures or insurance issues. If the swap isn't done right, the engine and transmission may not mesh well, leading to rapid clutch wear or jerky driving. Also, in heavy urban traffic, driving a manual daily can be tiring, especially in stop-and-go conditions. 1. ECU reflash for racing fuel, E85 or 100 plus octane. ECU reflash for racing fuel or reprogramming the engine control unit for high-performance fuels like E85 or 100 plus octane gas is an upgrade that can turn a tame car into a true beast. The ECU is programmed for safe operation with standard gasoline, limiting compression ratios, ignition timing, and fuel delivery to match regular fuel. But with racing fuel, you unlock the engine's potential in ways manufacturers never dared for street use. E85, with 85% ethanol, has a much higher octane rating than regular gas, allowing earlier ignition timing, higher boost pressure, and cooler combustion chambers, reducing knock risk. This lets you safely push power levels significantly higher. Meanwhile, 100 plus octane fuel, designed for race cars, handles high compression, enabling the ECU to optimize fuel maps and ignition for maximum power across a wider RPM range. A good reflash doesn't just boost horsepower, it sharpens throttle response, extends the RPM limit, and optimizes the air-fuel mix at every gear. For turbocharged cars, the ECU can be tuned to sustain higher boost, longer, or even raise the boost limit, fully exploiting the turbo's potential. This process requires specialized software and deep tuning expertise. A skilled tuner analyzes data from knock sensors, boost pressure, air-fuel ratio, AFR, and intake air temperature to fine-tune each parameter. A sloppy job with racing fuel can burn pistons, bend connecting rods, or destroy the engine after just a few hard throttle pulls. Also, E85 burns faster than regular gas, meaning a shorter range per tank. The fuel system, from pump to lines to injectors, must be ethanol compatible to avoid corrosion. And 100 plus octane fuel isn't always easy to find, with limited availability and high costs. The value here isn't just power, it's knowledge. Understanding the mechanics, pros, cons, and impacts of each upgrade lets you make smart choices, picking what fits your needs and maximizing performance while keeping your car reliable and legal for its purpose. So, if it were you, which of these 10 upgrades would you dare try to turn your car into a true monster? Share in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to catch more exciting car tips. With just one simple action, taking less than 5 minutes, with no tools or cost required, you can reset your car's electronics, boost engine performance, and clear annoying dashboard warning lights. This isn't some baseless word-of-mouth trick. It's a technique professional technicians have used for years to quickly fix minor issues that garages often charge hundreds of dollars for. The surprising part is that 90% of drivers have no idea it exists. This video was made to make your life better, so don't hold back on giving it a like. What is a car reset, and why does it matter? Resetting a car isn't just turning it off and on again. It's a process that reboots the vehicle's brains, like the ECM, engine control module, TCU, transmission control unit, BCM, body control module, and various sensors. During operation, a stray signal or minor glitch can get stored, triggering warning lights or causing the car to act up. A reset clears these minor errors, recalibrates sensors, and restores many systems to the factory default settings. Think of it like restarting your phone when it lags. It helps your car regain stable performance. Common reset methods. When it comes to resetting a car, many think of disconnecting the battery, but there are actually several methods, each with its own pros, cons, and ideal use cases. Below are 4 techniques regularly used by factory technicians and skilled mechanics, all of which you can do at home if you know the steps. 1. Disconnect the negative battery terminal. This is the oldest method but still highly effective in many cases. Simply turn off the engine, remove the key, and then use a wrench to disconnect the negative battery terminal. For a thorough reset, press and hold the brake pedal for about 30 seconds to drain any residual power in the system. Wait about 15 minutes before reconnecting the terminal. When done, temporary data in the ECU is erased, forcing the car to relearn idle settings, fuel ratios, and throttle position. This can clear minor errors and turn off a check engine light caused by a misread sensor, but you'll lose settings like the clock, radio, and some personal customizations. For many, this reset is worth hundreds of dollars in shop labor fees. 2. Key cycling trick. This method is often used for older models, especially Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and some Ford vehicles. Here's how. Insert the key, turn it to the on position without starting the engine, then back to off. Repeat this 3 to 5 times depending on the car. When done correctly, the check engine light will flash in a pattern. This is the stored error code. For example, 3 flashes, a pause, then 2 flashes equals code 32. The cool part is, if the issue was temporary and doesn't reappear after a few drive cycles, some cars will clear the code automatically. This is both a quick way to read errors and a light reset if the issue is resolved. No scanner, no disassembly, just a key and a bit of patience. 3. Pull the ECU-TCU fuse. If you want to reset a specific system without affecting the whole car, pulling a fuse is a smart choice. Open the fuse box, usually under the hood or below the dashboard, and locate the fuse labeled ECM-ECU, PCM, or TCU. Remove it for 10 to 15 minutes, then plug it back in. This only clears the memory of the selected module, so you won't lose radio, seat, or other system settings. It's especially useful after repairs, like replacing a throttle position sensor or cleaning an EGR valve, when you want the ECU to forget old data and adapt to new conditions. 4. Exit limp mode. Limp mode is a protective feature that activates when a critical sensor or system detects a problem, limiting engine RPM and speed to prevent further damage. But sometimes, even after fixing the issue, the car stays stuck in limp mode. A reset, by disconnecting the negative battery terminal or pulling the ECU-TCU fuse, can restore normal operation. This works particularly well on some older Nissan, Volkswagen, and BMW models. However, you must ensure the root cause is resolved, or limp mode will return within minutes of driving. The key takeaway is that each method has its own value when used at the right time and in the right way. You don't need to be a pro mechanic, just understand the process and follow safety precautions, and you can revive your car yourself, saving both time and money. Many drivers who've tried these techniques have cleared warning lights, improved engine and transmission response, and regained the smooth driving feel of a car fresh from the showroom. Resetting the transmission and throttle. Many drivers don't know that modern automatic transmissions and electronic throttle systems can learn your driving habits. After thousands of miles, the TCM, transmission control module, and TPS, throttle position sensor, adjust to match your driving style. But if the transmission starts shifting sluggishly or jerking, or the throttle response feels off, the stored data may have drifted and need a reset to restore optimal performance. 1. Resetting the TCM for smoother shifting. When your automatic transmission feels sluggish, delays shifts, or changes gears unevenly, resetting the TCM is a quick fix used by many factory technicians. The common process: turn the key or press the start/stop button To the on position without starting the engine, fully press the gas pedal and hold for 10 seconds. While still holding the pedal, turn the key to off, then release the pedal and wait about 2 minutes. Finally, start the car and take it for a test drive. You'll often notice immediate results. The transmission shifts smoothly, engages gears faster, and feels like it did when the car was new. This method works for many Nissan, Mercedes, GM, and other brand models. 2. Resetting the TPS for better throttle and idle. The electronic throttle, TPS, measures the gas pedal position and sends data to the ECU to adjust fuel and air intake. If it's misaligned, you might experience delayed throttle response, shaky idling, or jerky acceleration. To manually reset it on many Toyota, Honda, or Nissan models, turn the key to on, wait 2 seconds, fully press and release the gas pedal 5 times in a row, wait 10 seconds, then start the engine. If done correctly, the idle stabilizes. The throttle response becomes snappy and smooth, and the car runs noticeably better. Over time, dirt, environmental changes, and driving habits can cause the TCM and TPS data to become suboptimal. Periodic resets, or after repairs like replacing sensors, clear old data, letting the system relearn from scratch, delivering a smoother drive and better fuel efficiency. Best of all, doing it yourself costs nothing but can save hundreds compared to a shop reprogramming or rebuilding the transmission unnecessarily. The key is to only reset after fixing any mechanical or electrical issues. A reset doesn't replace repairs. It optimizes the system once the problem is resolved. When used at the right time, this is a secret weapon to keep your car driving like new for years. Relearning idle after a reset. After disconnecting the battery or resetting the ECU, the car loses all learned idle data. This can cause unstable RPMs, engine shaking, or even stalling at stoplights. The ECU no longer has the optimal settings for fuel, air, and ignition timing during idle. If not relearned, this can persist for weeks, causing frustration and potentially harming the engine's longevity. The relearning process is simple but requires patience. Start the car with all electrical devices, lights, AC, radio, turned off. Let it idle for 5 or 10 minutes, allowing the ECU to collect data in ideal conditions. Turn on the AC and let the engine idle for another 5 minutes to account for the added load. Drive gently for 10 minutes, avoiding sudden acceleration, so the ECU can fine-tune its settings. Once complete, you'll notice stable RPMs, smooth throttle response, and no more hesitation. This step is often skipped, but is key to ensuring your car runs smoothly and efficiently after a reset. Resetting warning and maintenance systems. During regular use, your dashboard might light up with various warning lights, from tire pressure to oil change reminders to post-sensor replacement alerts. Many drivers take their car to a shop just to clear these, spending hundreds of thousands of VND or even hundreds of dollars on a simple task you can do at home. Mastering these reset tricks not only saves time and money, but also puts you in control of your car's care. Resetting the TPMS light. The TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system, tracks each tire's pressure and triggers a warning light if one or more tires are low. The problem is, even after inflating to the correct pressure, the light may stay on because the system hasn't refreshed its data. To reset, 1. Ensure all tires, including the spare if equipped with a sensor, are inflated to the manufacturer's recommended pressure. 2. Turn the ignition to on without starting the engine. 3. Locate the TPMS reset button, usually under the dashboard or near the center console. 4. Press and hold the button until the TPMS light flashes 3 times, then release. 5. Drive at speeds above 30 km/h for about 10 minutes to let the system recalibrate. If the light stays on after the reset, a TPMS sensor may be faulty, or its battery may be low, requiring inspection or replacement. Resetting the maintenance required light. The maintenance required light comes on based on mileage, reminding you to change the oil, air filter, or perform routine checks. Unlike the check engine light, it's not a technical error and can be reset manually without a diagnostic tool. For example, on many Toyota models. 1. Turn the ignition to the on position without starting the engine. 2. Press and hold the trip button on the dashboard. 3. Turn the ignition off while still holding the button. 4. Turn the ignition back on, holding the button until the display shows dashes disappearing or 0000. Other brands have similar methods, but the button location and steps may vary. Check your owner's manual. Resetting this light after performing maintenance prevents false reminders and ensures the next maintenance alert is accurate. Resetting after replacing sensors. When you replace critical sensors like the MAF, mass airflow, O2 sensor, TPS, throttle position sensor, or intake air temperature sensor, the ECU may still hold old data from before the replacement. This can make the car feel less responsive, even with new parts. To fix this, reset the ECU by disconnecting the negative battery terminal for 15 to 30 minutes, or pulling the ECU fuse. After resetting, perform the idle relearn process to sync the ECU with the new sensor data. The key is to only reset after confirming the sensor was replaced with the correct type and installed properly. Resetting clears outdated parameters, letting the system quickly adapt to new ones, optimizing performance. When you know how to reset these warning systems, you save on shop fees and keep your car running at its best, avoiding unnecessary panic when a warning light pops up. This is a skill every modern driver should have. Psychological benefits and taking control. For many drivers, a sudden warning light feels like an invisible threat. It sparks anxiety, dents confidence, and often leads to rushed trips to the shop, where you might pay high fees for minor, temporary issues. Knowing how to reset properly puts you back in control. This sense of empowerment keeps you calm, reduces stress from small warnings, and saves significant costs. More importantly, you learn that not every light means a serious problem, and many can be handled quickly at home with the right steps. This shifts you from a passive driver to a true car manager. Using an OBD2 tool. If you want to level up your diagnostic and reset game, an OBD2 scanner is practically a must-have. Basic models cost just $20 or $30 and let you read and clear simple error codes. DTCs, like a loose gas cap, P0455, misfire, P0300, or oxygen sensor issues, P0131. More advanced Bluetooth devices like OBD-Link LX FIXD or ELM327 connect to your phone, displaying real-time data, RPM, temperature, fuel pressure, sensor readings, and more. These tools not only pinpoint the issue, but also save a history and monitor your car's condition live. With a little research, you can identify, fix, and clear errors without stepping foot in a shop. Important notes and when not to reset. While resetting is a powerful skill, it's not always the answer. If your car shows serious issues, overheating, smoke, or strange smells, oil or coolant leaks, slipping transmission, or harsh shifting, a reset only masks symptoms, not the root cause. This could worsen damage and lead to costly repairs. For safety systems like ABS, anti-lock brakes, or SRS, airbags, most errors require specialized diagnostic tools to clear. Attempting to reset without fixing the underlying issue could disable critical safety features, putting you and your passengers at risk. The golden rule: only reset after identifying the cause and ensuring it doesn't affect safe operation. Resetting is a powerful tool, but its strength shines only when used at the right time and in the right way. Equip yourself with knowledge, basic tools, and a cautious mindset. That's how you save money, protect your car, and keep yourself safe. Advanced resets and final tips. Beyond basic methods, advanced resets can make your car run smoother, fix annoying issues, and prepare it for special situations like selling or after major repairs. Resetting the entire infotainment system. Many modern cars pack features into the infotainment screen: phone connections, personal settings, trip data, and more. When the system freezes, lags, or shows software glitches, a factory reset from the settings menu can restore it to its original state. This clears all paired phones, radio presets, navigation, and apps, making the system run more stably. It's also a smart step before selling your car to protect your privacy. Resetting a CVT transmission. Continuously variable transmissions, CVTs, are designed for fuel efficiency and smoothness, but over time, the learned driving habits can make the car feel sluggish or unresponsive. Resetting the CVT, often by warming up the engine, driving at a steady speed, then performing a few hard accelerations and decelerations, clears old data and lets the transmission adapt like it's fresh from the factory. Some models require specialized tools, but many Nissan, Subaru, or Toyota vehicles allow you to do it at home if you follow the right steps. Resetting the HVAC system. The air conditioning or heating system can sometimes malfunction, blowing air in the wrong direction, making clicking noises, or failing to switch modes properly. This is often due to misaligned air vent motors. Resetting the HVS by turning on the ignition and holding the air recirculation and rear defroster buttons for a few seconds triggers a self-calibration mode, realigning the vents to their correct positions and fixing airflow issues. Resetting the steering angle sensor. This sensor helps electronic stability control and steering assist systems accurately detect wheel direction. After wheel alignment, battery replacement, or sudden power loss, the sensor can lose calibration, triggering a stability control warning light. Resetting is simple. Start the car, turn the steering wheel fully left, then fully right, return to center, and drive straight for a few seconds to let the system relearn the center position. Skipping this can cause safety features to malfunction or deactivate. Keeping a reset log to track issues. One crucial tip few drivers follow: record every reset you perform. Date, type of reset, and symptoms before and after. This log helps you determine if the issue is truly resolved or just temporarily masked. If the same problem keeps returning after resets, it's a sign you need deeper inspection or part replacement. A log also gives you or a technician a clear history, saving diagnostic time and avoiding unnecessary costs. By combining basic and advanced reset techniques, you can save hundreds to thousands of dollars in repair costs while keeping your car's performance at its peak. The key is understanding the purpose of each reset, applying it at the right time, and following the safety rule. Only reset when you're sure the issue doesn't involve critical systems like brakes, airbags, or an engine in a dangerous state. These reset tips not only make your car run smoothly and save on repair costs, but also give you confidence and control behind the wheel. Use them correctly to maximize their benefits. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video so other drivers can learn these secrets too. Can you believe it? Sometimes your car's check engine light comes on, the throttle feels sluggish, or the transmission shifts jerkily, but nothing's actually broken. It's just the ECU, the car's brain, getting confused by data. Many people rush to a shop, spending hundreds just to reset the system. But there are 5 super simple methods, used daily by mechanics, that you can do at home for free. From a key twisting trick that feels like a video game cheat code, to a gas pedal hack that saves fuel. Like and subscribe to the channel if this video helps you. Method 1. Ignition key on-off cycling reset. If you own an older car, especially one made before 2005, this is a pocket trick that seasoned mechanics still swear by. It's called the ignition key on-off cycling reset, which sounds fancy but is just a simple sequence of turning the key. No tools, no popping the hood, and it can fix issues that seem complicated. Picture this. You just replaced the battery or had some electrical work done, and suddenly the car feels sluggish, the throttle's slow, Or the transmission isn't shifting smoothly. You start worrying. Is the transmission shot? Is a sensor dead? In reality, often the ECU, the car's control brain, has forgotten its learned data. That's where this key turning rhythm comes in, reteaching the car to run smoothly. The process is dead easy. Sit in the driver's seat, insert the key into the ignition, and turn it to the on position, where all the dashboard lights come on, but the engine doesn't start. Hold it there for a few seconds, then turn it back to off. Repeat this whole process 3 times, completing it within 10 seconds. It feels like entering a cheat code in a video game, but for your car, it's a signal to restart some core logic. Why does this work? On many older cars, this on-off sequence resets the fuel pump relay, refreshes the electronic throttle's data, and even recalibrates the automatic transmission's shift logic. I once saw an early Ford Escape. After a battery replacement, it ran rough and shifted jerkily, and the owner thought the transmission needed replacing. After doing the 3 key cycles and driving around the block, the transmission relearned, and it ran smoothly again. The beauty of this trick is its total safety. You're not touching the battery terminals, pulling fuses, or risking shorts. It simply uses how the ECU is programmed to recognize startup signals. This makes it work for many common older cars, from Ford and Chrysler to Nissan. Of course, it's not foolproof. On newer cars, especially post-2010, many brands change their algorithms, making this method less effective. But for cars that have served you for decades, it's the cheapest solution to try first before moving to more complex fixes. One small tip: don't rush it or skip holding the key in the on position long enough. If you go too fast, the ECU won't register the cycle, and you won't see results. Stay calm, count silently in your head, and keep each step deliberate. Method 2. Disconnect the battery properly. Disconnecting the battery to reset a car is probably the most well-known method many drivers have heard of. But did you know that 90% of the time, people do it wrong, so the ECU doesn't fully reset and those pesky errors stick around? It's not because the car is stubborn. It's because we overlook small but critical details. Imagine this. You pop the hood, loosen the battery terminals, remove the negative, wait 5 minutes, and reconnect. Sounds logical in theory, but in reality, the car's electronic circuits, from the ECU to throttle sensors to safety systems, still hold residual power in capacitors and backup circuits. So, when you reconnect the battery, old data lingers, the check engine light stays on, and the engine still runs unevenly. So, how do you reset it, right? First, remember the safety rule. Always disconnect the negative terminal first, then the positive. Doing it backward is like poking a metal tool into a live system. You risk sparks or a short circuit. When reconnecting, do the reverse. Positive first, then negative. This is a rule every seasoned mechanic knows by heart. After disconnecting both terminals, don't rush to reconnect. Wait at least 10 to 15 minutes for residual power to drain from the system. But waiting alone isn't enough. Here's a detail many miss. Press and hold the brake pedal for about 10 seconds or honk the horn a few times. Sounds odd, but this helps discharge leftover electricity in the small capacitors scattered throughout the car. Only then does the ECU's temporary memory truly clear, ready to start fresh when you restart the car. I once had a customer bring in a Hyundai Sonata with a dashboard lit up like a Christmas tree. Check engine, ABS, and electronic throttle errors. He said he'd tried resetting by disconnecting the battery, but nothing improved. I followed the proper process, disconnected both terminals, pressed the brake a few times, waited 15 minutes, then reconnected. Like magic, the check engine light vanished, and the car ran smoothly again. He just shook his head. I almost paid $200 for a shop to scan it. Of course, you need to prepare a bit. A wrench or socket, usually 10 millimeters for most cars. Insulated gloves if you have them, and most importantly, some patience. When reconnecting, ensure the terminals are tightened securely. Many people leave them loose, causing intermittent issues, then think the ECU is faulty when it's just poor contact. One thing to note, resetting by disconnecting the battery will wipe some personal settings. The clock might reset to 12 RPMs, the radio loses its presets, and memory seats go blank. But in exchange, you get a cleaner control system, free of old error data. It takes a few minutes to reset the radio, but you could save hundreds on pointless diagnostics. This method works great after replacing sensors, doing maintenance, or dealing with minor issues like rough idling, sluggish throttle, or fuel system warnings. But if errors return after the reset, that's a sign of a real mechanical or electrical problem. You'll need a deeper check, not just a reset to brush it off. If this information is helpful, please comment too to let me know. Method 3. Reset with an OBD2 scanner. If disconnecting the battery is the basic weapon, an OBD2 scanner is the modern tool every owner of a car from 1996 or later should have. Think of it like an electronic stethoscope for your car. Instead of disconnecting the battery and guessing, an OBD2 scanner lets you directly read your car's complaints, pinpointing exactly where the trouble lies. Even better, you can reset the ECU and turn off the check engine light with just a few simple steps. First, know that not all OBD2 scanners are created equal. You can find cheap ones online for a few bucks, but professional models cost hundreds. My 10 years of experience as a mechanic taught me, don't go too cheap. Budget scanners often only read basic codes, miss deeper issues, or have flaky connections. A customer once brought in a Hyundai Tucson with a printout from a cheap scanner saying, "No code found," yet the car was jerking and the throttle was erratic. When I used a proper scanner, it instantly showed throttle sensor and fuel system errors. So, how do you use it right? First, locate the OBD2 port, usually under the steering wheel near your left knee. Plug in the scanner's cable and turn the key to the on position without starting the engine. The scanner will boot up and read data from the ECU. You'll see a list of error codes, usually starting with P, B, C, or U. Each code points to a specific issue: ProSR 300 for random misfire, PU sub 171 for a lean fuel mixture, or PSR 456 for an evap leak, often just a loose fuel cap. After reading the codes, hit the Clear Code or Erase button on the scanner. This is the software reset for the ECU. The check engine light should turn off instantly, and the car feels clean again. But don't celebrate too soon. Resetting only works if the root cause is fixed. If not, the light will return after a few drives. I've seen owners clear codes to sell a car quickly, but smart buyers drive a few dozen miles, and the truth comes out. The beauty of an OBD2 scanner reset compared to disconnecting the battery is that you don't lose personal settings. The clock, radio, power seats, and even adaptive driving systems stay intact. Plus, you can be selective. Reset just the engine ECU, the transmission, or the ABS system, depending on the scanner. Battery disconnection can't do that. A small tip: after clearing codes, drive at least 50 km to let the system run its test cycles, called readiness monitors. If you go for an emissions test right after clearing, your car might fail because the ECU hasn't finished self-checking. Give it time to relearn for accurate new data. Also, an OBD2 scanner isn't just for resetting errors. It lets you monitor live data like engine RPM, fuel pressure, coolant temperatures, or oxygen sensor status. It's a goldmine for anyone who wants to care for their car thoroughly. I once saved a customer nearly $500 by spotting an erratic oxygen sensor in live data, avoiding blind guesswork. Method 4: throttle body reset via pedal. If you've replaced the batteries or disconnected it, and now your car idles rough, with erratic RPMs, sluggish throttle response, or even jerking at a stoplight, the culprit might be the electronic throttle body. Back in the day, throttle valves were controlled by a mechanical cable, so disconnecting the battery didn't cause issues. But modern cars use a drive-by-wire system where the gas pedal sends electronic signals. When power is lost, the ECU forgets the correct pedal and throttle valve positions. The result? The car has to relearn from scratch, and that's when you need to reset the throttle body using the pedal. The process is genuinely simple, yet few people know it. First, sit in the driver's seat and ensure the car is completely off. Insert the key and turn it to the on position, where all dashboard lights come on, but the engine doesn't start. Hold it there for 3 to 5 seconds. Then, with your right foot, slowly press the gas pedal all the way to the floor and hold it for 5-10 seconds. Next, gently release the pedal back to its starting position. Repeat this process 2 to 3 times. The goal is to let the ECU recognize the 0 point when the pedal is fully released and the 100% point when it's floored. After finishing, turn the key off, wait a few seconds, and start the car normally. The magic is that in most cases, the idle stabilizes after just a few minutes of test driving. The throttle feels smoother, lag disappears, and fuel economy noticeably improves. Some real-world studies show that skipping this reset after a battery change can waste 10 to 12% more fuel in city driving, a significant amount over a year. I once had a customer bring in a Nissan Altima, complaining that after a new battery, the car's throttle was erratic, acting like it was possessed. They thought the transmission was failing, but after performing the throttle reset via pedal in under 3 minutes, the engine ran smoothly with no more wild behavior. The owner couldn't believe it, thrilled yet kicking themselves for nearly spending money on a new sensor. Interestingly, each car brand has slight variations. Some Toyota or Honda models only need the simple on-press release sequence. But for Nissan, you might need to hold the on position for 10 seconds before starting the pedal process. My advice? Check your car's manual or trusted online forums for specifics. But the core principle is the same, helping the ECU relearn the gas pedal and throttle body positions. Compared to using an OBD2 scanner or disconnecting the battery, this method's advantage is that no tools are needed. You can do it in your garage, a parking lot, or right outside your house. Since it only affects the throttle system, you won't lose radio settings, the clock, or seat memory. The car doesn't need a long wait, just a few minutes and you're done. This is one of those zero-cost tricks with high payoff that pros use before resorting to pricey part replacements. However, remember, throttle reset only helps with issues tied to idling, throttle lag, or uneven running after a power loss. If your car has bigger problems like sudden stalling or power loss during acceleration, the issue might be the MAF sensor, oxygen sensor, or fuel injectors. Resetting won't fully fix those. One final tip. After resetting, drive 15 to 20 km sprints to let the ECU fine-tune based on your driving habits. Don't panic if the RPMs are high or the car feels slightly off at first. Be patient. After a short drive, things will settle. Comment 1 and like this video, and I'll reveal something even more shocking. Method 5. Soft ECU drain with jumper cables. It might sound unusual, but this is the ultimate move many skilled mechanics use to completely clear the ECU's memory without complex tools. While disconnecting the battery resets most temporary data, the soft ECU drain goes further. It sucks out every bit of residual power in the system, letting the car start from a true zero state. Picture your car like a frozen laptop. Unplugging it shuts it down, but when you restart, some programs still cause trouble. Soft ECU drain is like unplugging and holding the power button, ensuring every component resets fully. The process isn't hard, but you need to be careful with each step for total safety. First, ensure both battery terminals, positive and negative, are disconnected. This is rule number 1. Never attempt this with the battery still connected. Then, grab a standard set of jumper cables, the kind used to jump-start a car. Attach the red clamp to the positive terminal cable and the black clamp to the negative terminal cable. But remember, these cables are now detached from the battery. By clamping them together, you create a closed loop, allowing any trapped electricity in the car's system to discharge completely. There's no power source, no sparks, just a full clean reset. The ideal wait time is 5 to 10 minutes. During this time, you can press the brake pedal or turn on the headlights briefly to speed up the discharge. After the wait, remove the clamps, reconnect the battery in the correct order, positive first, then negative, and tighten securely. When you start the car, the ECU will be like it's fresh from the factory, free of ghost error codes or faulty data causing chaos. I once had a customer bring in a Chevy Cruze with a weird issue. The check engine light stayed on, flagging a throttle error despite a new sensor. Disconnecting the battery didn't help, and clearing codes with an OBD2 scanner only worked temporarily. The final solution was a soft ECU drain with jumper cables. After 10 minutes of draining, we reconnected the battery, started the car, and everything was gone. The car ran smoothly, as if the error never existed. The owner was stunned, having thought they'd need a new ECU. What makes this method special is that it doesn't just reset the ECU, it refreshes other electronic modules too, from the transmission control to the climate system to the infotainment. The only downside? You'll lose personal settings, clock, radio presets, memory seats. But in return, your car gets a completely clean slate, eliminating hidden error data that could cause trouble later. However, you don't always need this ultimate move. Soft ECU drain is best for stubborn errors that regular resets or OBD2 code clearing can't fix. For smaller issues, try simpler methods first. And let me stress again, never clamp the cables while the battery is still connected. One small mistake could cause a dangerous short circuit. The cool thing is, after a soft drain, many drivers say their car feels smoother, with a more responsive throttle, silkier gear shifts, and a steadier idle. Some have saved hundreds in mechanic fees just by knowing this trick. It's like factory resetting your entire car for free, with results even pros sometimes keep as a trade secret. Many annoying car issues are just the ECU getting confused, not major breakdowns. These 5 simple reset methods, from the key trick, proper battery disconnection, OBD2 scanner, and throttle pedal reset to soft ECU drain, can make your car run smoothly again, turn off warning lights, and save you money. Understand and apply them right, and you'll not only avoid costly shop visits, but also truly take control of your car. 98% of car owners are completely unaware that their vehicle hides incredibly valuable features. Some could save your life in an emergency, while others can prevent thousands of dollars in unexpected repair costs. The best part is, most are right at your fingertips, just waiting to be activated. Watch this video to the end, because the final features will surprise you and make you want to try them on your own car right away. This video was made to make your life better, so don't hold back on giving it a like. Starting with the first feature, the knock sensor, anti-detonation sensor. It's truly a silent guardian protecting the heart of your car. Detonation, also known as engine knock, happens when fuel ignites prematurely or unevenly in the combustion chamber. This creates powerful shock waves that can damage pistons, connecting rods, and even crack the engine block in just minutes. The knock sensor constantly listens to the engine, detecting the unique vibration frequencies of knock that human ears can't hear. When it senses a problem, it instantly adjusts ignition timing within milliseconds, preventing damage before it starts. This lets you drive worry-free, even if you accidentally use lower octane fuel or push the car in harsh conditions. Even better, the sensor learns your driving style to optimize performance and protection, more sensitive for aggressive driving, prioritizing fuel efficiency for gentler driving. In short, this smart technology saves you from repair bills that could reach tens of thousands of dollars without you needing to do anything extra. 2. Automatic headlight washers. It sounds minor, but it's a key to maintaining optimal visibility and ensuring safety, especially at night or in harsh weather. Dirty headlights can cut brightness by up to 50%, making it harder to see obstacles and slowing your reaction time. The automatic headlight washer system activates when you use the windshield washer, but only if the headlights are on and the system detects they haven't been cleaned in a certain distance. This saves washer fluid and only works when needed. Some high-end cars even have light sensors to measure lens clarity, washing only the dirtier side, like the left headlight when driving on muddy roads. The washer fluid isn't plain water. It contains special detergents to break down dirt and grease, with antifreeze properties to work in sub-zero temperatures. Some systems even include heated nozzles to prevent freezing. This feature quietly protects you every day, because clear light not only helps you see the road, but also ensures others can see you. 3. Timed air recirculation mode. This is one of those secrets that keeps your cabin, but few owners notice. When you turn on recirculation mode, the system reuses cabin air to cool or heat faster, blocking outside odors and dust. But if left on too long, CO2 levels rise, making you drowsy and less focused while driving. That's why many modern cars have a smart timer. After about 20 minutes, recirculation automatically switches to fresh outside air, maintaining air quality and protecting the health of everyone inside. In higher-end models, air quality sensors monitor outside pollution levels to decide whether to extend or shorten recirculation time. If the car detects you're passing through a dusty area, tunnel, or smoky zone, it keeps recirculation on longer to block toxic air. This feature runs quietly, without fanfare, but makes a big difference, protecting your health, boosting AC efficiency, saving energy, and reducing wear. Do you agree with this? Comment number 2 if you do. 4. Smart auto-folding mirrors. It seems like a small convenience, but it actually protects your car from costly risks. In many modern cars, the side mirrors automatically fold when your speed drops below about 3 mph and the car stops, preventing scrapes in tight parking lots or when parked close to the curb. In high-end models, the system pairs with GPS to remember places you often park, like your home garage or a cramped lot, and folds the mirrors as soon as you approach those spots. Some even use proximity sensors to measure the distance to obstacles, adjusting the fold just enough to avoid unnecessary movement or wear on the mechanism. This feature not only protects mirrors from scratches or breaks, but also reduces the risk of hitting pedestrians or cyclists when parked on busy streets. For those who often navigate tight parking spaces, it's like a silent gatekeeper, working automatically every day without you needing to think about it. 5. Programmable horn patterns. This is a secret language few drivers know about, but incredibly useful in many situations. Instead of a single default horn sound, some cars let you program different horn patterns to convey specific messages. For example, a short tap can be a polite hello to get someone's attention, while rapid taps signal an urgent warning. To set it up, hold the hazard button and press the horn in your desired rhythm, and the system saves up to 5 different patterns. Professional drivers, like instructors, often use this to communicate with students or coordinate in a convoy. The biggest benefit is avoiding misunderstandings or annoyance in minor situations, while still having a strong signal for emergencies. Interestingly, the system recognizes both the duration and intensity of presses, giving each pattern a unique tone, from gentle to assertive. 6. Memory for 3 recent cruise control speeds. This is a secret weapon for anyone driving through areas with varying speed limits. Normally, you'd have to reset cruise control each time, but this system stores the 3 most recently used speeds, even after the car is turned off. While in cruise control mode, quickly press the Set button 3 times, and the system cycles through your saved speeds, letting you adapt instantly when entering a residential area, hitting the highway, or passing a construction zone. Long-distance drivers love this feature because it saves time, reduces unnecessary adjustments, and keeps you focused. Technically, the speed data is tied to your key, meaning each driver gets their own set of speeds. This makes it both convenient and personalized. Best of all, the system is smart enough to switch speeds smoothly, avoiding jerky transitions that can be annoying. 7. Steering wheel control learning mode. This is a lifesaver when you switch to a new device, like a phone or aftermarket entertainment system, and the steering wheel buttons don't work as expected. Instead of going to a shop for reprogramming, you can teach the steering wheel new commands at home. The process is simple. With the engine running, press and hold both the volume up and down buttons on the wheel for 15 seconds. The system enters learning mode, letting you press each button and assign a new function as desired. Car audio technicians often use this trick when installing aftermarket systems to sync controls quickly. Technically, the steering wheel buttons send generic signals, and learning mode creates a translation table to match each signal to a specific task on the new device. 8. Auto Stop Window Safety Feature. This is one of those safety systems many owners don't know about until it saves them from a dangerous situation. Ever wonder why your window sometimes stops or reverses slightly while rolling up? It's not a glitch, it's the anti-pinch feature. The system uses pressure sensors to detect any unusual resistance, even as light as 4 pounds, about the force of a gentle hand touch. If an obstacle is detected, the window reverses to prevent injury or damage. What's special is, you can fine-tune the sensitivity. Hold the window up button for 10 seconds after it's fully closed, and the motor recalibrates the force needed for safe closing. Auto technicians often do this after replacing glass or cleaning seals to ensure accurate detection. This feature not only protects passengers, especially kids, but also prevents windows from closing improperly or getting stuck due to dirt. If you're nodding in agreement, like the video now. 9. Quick Radio Preset Override. This small trick saves you time and frustration while driving. Many think changing a saved radio station requires navigating menus and manually saving. But most modern car radios let you override presets with one simple action. Just tune to the new station you want, then press and hold the preset button for about 5 seconds until you hear a beep confirming it's saved. The new station replaces the old one instantly. No complex menus are needed. The 5-second hold is long enough to prevent accidental overrides while driving, keeping your focus on the road. Professional drivers like DJs or those traveling between different broadcast areas love this trick because it's much faster than traditional methods. It not only saves time but also lets you flexibly save stations for different needs. Morning news, relaxing music for long drives, or traffic updates during rush hour. 10. Special Hazard Light Mode. This is a safety weapon most drivers don't know about, but can make a life or death difference during a roadside emergency. Normally, the hazard button makes all lights flash in a standard pattern, which can blend in with other stopped cars. But in some models, pressing the hazard button 3 times within 2 seconds activates a special mode with faster, alternating flashes, a standardized signal that emergency responders and other drivers instantly recognize as a true emergency. This pattern cuts through ambient traffic lighting, grabbing attention from far away, even in daylight. Roadside rescue experts say this mode significantly reduces the risk of rear-end collisions when your car is disabled in low-visibility areas. The system is programmed with an optimized flash cycle to save battery while maintaining visibility for hours. 11. Tire Pressure Sensor Reset. It sounds simple, but can save you both time and money. Many drivers see the tire pressure warning light stay on after inflating tires, assume the sensor is faulty, and head to a shop, racking up costly diagnostic fees. In reality, most modern cars require you to reteach the tire pressure system the new pressure levels. The process is quick. With the engine running and the gear in park, find the tire pressure reset button, usually near the steering wheel. Then press and hold it for 10 seconds until the light flashes 3 times. This tells the system to register the current pressure of all 4 tires as the new baseline, clearing the old warning. Professional tire technicians do this dozens of times a day, but most drivers don't know it. Skipping this can lead to false warnings after tire changes, rotations, or big temperature swings. This not only causes annoyance but also risks missing real, dangerous pressure issues. 12. Automatic Trunk Closure Assist. It's a small detail that showcases the thoughtfulness of car makers focused on user experience. Have you ever closed the trunk only for it to pop back up or not latch fully, forcing you to reopen and try again? This isn't just annoying. It can damage the latch or let dust and rainwater seep into the cargo area. On many modern cars, if the trunk is nearly closed but not fully latched, after about 3 seconds, you'll hear a soft motor gently pull it shut completely. The system uses sensors to detect when the trunk is just millimeters from fully closing, then activates a mechanism to secure it. The result is a smooth, safe, soft close that avoids harsh slams. Car wash attendants and delivery workers love this feature because it protects hinges and reduces mechanical wear. Plus, a fully sealed trunk improves sound insulation and maintains cabin temperature, especially in extreme heat or cold. 13. Climate Control Habit Memory. It sounds simple, but it's an invisible assistant that keeps you comfortable without manual adjustments. Instead of just saving the last temperature you set, this system is far smarter. It tracks every temperature tweak you make, compares it to data from outdoor temperature, humidity, and sunlight sensors, and builds a habit profile unique to you. After a few weeks, the car automatically adjusts the climate control when you start it, predicting the exact temperature you want for each weather condition. For example, on a scorching 95-degree Skirf day, it might cool more aggressively, or, on a crisp morning, it gently maintains a comfortable breeze without over-chilling. 14. Door Handle Light Sensor. This is a detail that surprises many with its sophistication and safety benefits. More than just courtesy lighting, this system uses infrared sensors to detect your body from up to 6 feet away. As you approach, lights on the door handles, keyhole, and nearby ground automatically turn on, making it easy to find your keys and open the door without fumbling in the dark. What's special is that it's programmed to distinguish human body heat from other sources, like a nearby car engine or sunlight, ensuring it only activates when needed. The light stays on for about 30 seconds after you stop moving, giving you enough time to open the door and get in safely. 15. Enhanced Reverse Lighting. This is a detail most owners overlook, but it makes a clear difference in safety when maneuvering at night. When you shift into reverse, the car's electronics automatically boost headlight brightness by about 20% and activate side or puddle lights. The goal is to widen the illuminated area, helping you spot obstacles, curbs, or pedestrians behind you more clearly. The system also slightly lowers the headlight angle to avoid blinding oncoming drivers while optimizing road visibility. Delivery drivers and rideshare operators especially value this feature for safely backing into tight alleys or crowded lots. Some high-end models pair it with distance sensors and a rear-view camera, displaying visual warnings on the center screen. 16. Auto-lock door programming. This is one of those silent shields that protects you and your passengers from potential dangers. Many don't know you can set your car to automatically lock all doors when it reaches about 12 to 15 mph. This is especially useful at stoplights in busy areas or when driving through remote roads, reducing the risk of someone unexpectedly opening a door. Activating it is simple. With the engine running and in park, press and hold the door lock button on the center console for about 5 seconds. A single beep confirms it's enabled. To disable, repeat the process, and a double beep signals it's off. Rideshare drivers and parents with kids love this feature for added peace of mind while focusing on driving. 17. Vanity Mirror Light Timer. It seems minor but shows the finesse in car design. Many think vanity mirrors are just for quick touch-ups, but few know the lights are smartly programmed to protect your battery. When you flip down the sun visor and open the mirror, the light turns on, making touch-ups easy even in low light. But if you forget to close it, there's no need to worry about draining the battery. The system automatically turns off the light after exactly 10 minutes, even if the mirror stays open. This duration isn't random. It's calculated based on the average time for touch-ups without significantly impacting battery life. These hidden features may be small, but their value is huge. from enhancing safety and convenience to saving thousands in repair costs. If you master and use them, your car will run better and last longer. Don't let these valuable tips go to waste. Check out our other videos to keep uncovering fascinating and practical car secrets, helping you drive smarter and safer every day. Did you know that a simple 30-second reset can save you from a repair bill of over $1,500? The surprising part is that 96% of drivers completely overlook it, ending up at the dealership and paying for issues that are really just minor electronic glitches. The truth is, many systems in modern cars have self-relearn procedures, if you know the right steps. In this video, you'll uncover reset tricks that mechanics never volunteer to tell you, because they can save you thousands of dollars every year. Take 3 seconds to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the latest videos. 13. Pulling the EFI fuse to reset the ECU. When your car starts running sluggishly, throwing random error lights, or burning more fuel than usual, most people immediately assume a bad sensor or clogged injectors, or feel they must take the car in for a diagnostic scan just to be safe. But there's a much simpler trick that mechanics rarely tell you: pulling the EFI fuse to reset the ECU. This forces the engine computer to clear temporary learned values stored during operation, values that can become inaccurate after replacing sensors, cleaning the throttle body, getting bad fuel, or running with a weak battery. The best part is that this method won't erase your radio presets, clock, or power seat memory, because it only resets the area that controls fuel injection, ignition timing, and air-fuel mixture, instead of shutting down the entire system like disconnecting the battery. All you need to do is open the fuse box under the hood, find the EFI fuse, or ECM, PCM, depending on the vehicle. Pull it out for about 10 to 20 seconds, then reinstall it. Once it's back in, the ECU is forced to relearn everything from scratch: fuel trim, ignition timing, idle speed, and even how you press the accelerator. 12. Resetting the steering angle sensor. Many drivers disconnect the battery to clean terminals, replace a battery, or hook up a booster pack, only to see a dashboard full of warning lights afterward: power steering disabled, traction control light on, ABS error, and sometimes the steering wheel feels unusually heavy. Anyone would panic seeing that, but the truth is far simpler. The steering angle sensor has lost calibration, and the system mistakenly thinks the car has a serious fault. Most cars allow you to reset it right on the spot. Switch the ignition to on, turn the steering wheel fully left, then fully right, then return it to center and hold it straight for a few seconds. It sounds too simple, but it works, as long as the wheel is centered accurately. After a few seconds, the warning lights often disappear and power steering returns to normal. 11. Resetting the auto up, auto down window function. On many cars, after a battery replacement, jump start, or even pulling a fuse, the windows start acting strangely. They go all the way down with one tap, but when you pull them up, they go a little and then drop back down. The one-touch feature stops working, or the window stops halfway as if something is jammed. It's easy to assume a weak motor, a bad anti-pinch sensor, or a worn regulator. But in most cases, the window simply lost its position memory due to unstable power. The window system needs to know the exact bottom limit and top limit to control motor force and movement accurately. When that memory is erased, the car no longer knows the window's actual position, so it cuts power to prevent jamming or overload. That's why many people take their car to a shop and get told the whole regulator needs replacing, even though the issue is simply that the window forgot where it is. Fixing it is straightforward. Turn the ignition on, lower the window all the way down, and hold the button for 5 seconds, then raise it all the way up and hold for another 5 seconds. 10. Resetting the maintenance Jajkor oil reminder light. Many people drive home after an oil change and still see the maintenance required or service due light glowing on the dashboard, then turn right back to the shop just to ask them to turn it off. Some places do it for free, but plenty of shops add $20, $70 to the bill simply because you don't know how to reset it. In reality, most of these reminder lights have nothing to do with technical faults. They're just timers or mileage counters telling you it's time for service. If you don't reset them, the system keeps warning you, making drivers think something is actually wrong. This is especially true for Japanese cars like Toyota, Honda, and Lexus. Their counters are strict. Once you hit around 4,500, 5,000 miles, the light comes on no matter when you last changed the oil. The annoying part is that every manufacturer uses a different procedure. Some cars require turning the ignition on and holding the trip button for a few seconds. Some need you to switch to ODO mode first. And certain Ford and Nissan models require navigating the steering wheel menu. It sounds complicated, but once you know the exact steps, the whole process takes less than a minute. Comment 1 and like the video. I'll reveal the next money-saving reset tricks. 9. Resetting the anti-theft immobilizer. There are times when you turn the key and the engine refuses to crank. You only see a blinking key symbol or an anti-theft icon. No starter noise, no signs of life, as if the car is upset with you. Many people in this situation immediately assume the key is broken, the anti-theft module is fried, or that they need to take the entire electrical system to the dealership for testing. And that often leads to a repair bill of several $100s, all because of a wrong assumption. The immobilizer works by verifying the correct code from the key or key fob before it allows the engine to start. If power is interrupted suddenly, a weak battery, battery replacement, or minor electrical fluctuation, the module may mistakenly think the key is invalid. The most common reset method is disconnecting the battery. Turn the key off, remove the negative terminal first, and wait 30 to 40 minutes so the system fully discharges. If you want a faster method, you can connect the two terminals together using a resistor, never connect them directly, to safely drain any remaining charge for a deeper reset. Once the battery is reconnected, the anti-theft system restarts and re-recognizes the key as normal. 8. Cleaning and resetting the IAC valve. A dirty IAC valve is a common cause of all kinds of annoyances. Unstable, idle, rough shaking when the AC is turned on, or the engine wanting to stall when shifting into gear. Because these symptoms look similar to sensor issues or throttle body problems, many people jump straight to replacing parts, when the actual cause is often just carbon buildup on the IAC valve, preventing it from opening to the correct angle. When idle airflow is restricted, the ECU keeps compensating back and forth, and the car starts behaving moody. The fix is much simpler than most people expect. Remove the IAC valve from the throttle body, spray the valve pintle and air passages with the proper cleaner, and wipe everything clean. After just a few minutes, the valve usually moves much more smoothly. But here's the part most people forget. After cleaning, you must reset the ECU so it clears the old airflow data and relearns the correct idle values based on the now clean valve. If you skip the reset, the ECU still thinks the IAC is clogged, which can lead to high idle throttle hesitation, or the car shaking when downshifting. 7. Cleaning and resetting the MAF sensor. A dirty MAF sensor is one of the most common causes of poor fuel economy, sluggish acceleration, and lean mixture warning lights. Yet it's also one of the parts most often replaced unnecessarily. Even a thin layer of dust, oil vapor from the PCV system, or residue from a cheap air filter can coat the sensor film and cause the ECU to misread incoming airflow. The result? The engine enriches the mixture to compensate, throttle response becomes delayed, gear shifts feel rough, and fuel consumption increases noticeably. Many shops see codes like PUR 171 or PUR 174 and immediately recommend replacing the MWAF, even though 80% of cases only need proper cleaning. To fix it, remove the sensor from the intake pipe and spray it gently several times with a dedicated MEF cleaner. Never use brake cleaner, carb cleaner, or gasoline, as they can destroy the ultra-thin sensing wire inside. After cleaning, let the sensor air dry completely before reinstalling it. But here's the mistake many people make. If you clean the MEF without resetting the ECU, the engine will continue using old fuel trim values that were based on a dirty sensor. That means the issue won't improve, and can even get worse. The solution is to reset the ECU by pulling the EFI fuse or disconnecting the battery for 15 to 20 minutes. When you restart the engine, drive gently so it can relearn the new airflow data. The difference is usually immediate: smoother performance, quicker throttle response, and fuel economy returning to normal. 6. Battery registration after replacement. A lot of people replace their car battery and then notice the car doesn't feel quite right. Weak cranking even with a new battery, cooling fans running longer than usual, the start-stop system refusing to activate, or the electrical warning light flickering for no reason. This leads many drivers to assume the alternator is failing or that the electrical system has a major problem. But in most cases, the issue is simple. You haven't registered the new battery with the vehicle's electrical system. Modern cars use an IBS, intelligent battery sensor, to monitor battery age, charge level, charging current, and overall condition over time. When you install a new battery without telling the ECU, the system still thinks the old battery is there, so it continues charging based on the old battery's habits. A worn battery is charged at a higher rate to compensate. A brand new battery does not need that level of charging. The result? The new battery overheats, ages quickly, or even swells, especially with AGM and EFB batteries. 5. Throttle body reset after cleaning. Many people clean their throttle body and then start the engine only to see the idle shoot up to 1,500–2,000 RPM, the throttle hanging high, harsh gear engagement, or the car creeping forward aggressively without touching the gas pedal. It's easy to think the cleaning broke something or that the throttle position sensor is failing, but the cause is usually very simple. The ECU is still using old learned data, while the freshly cleaned throttle body is flowing much more air at idle than before. Electronic throttle bodies are extremely sensitive. As carbon builds up over time, the ECU slowly adjusts to maintain a stable idle even though airflow is restricted. But once you clean it, the airflow returns to normal, yet the ECU hasn't forgotten its old adaptations. The result? High idle, inconsistent throttle behavior, hesitation on acceleration, or even stalling when shifting into gear. Some shops clean the throttle body for customers, but forget to reset it, causing the customer to think the car has gotten worse. The fix is to perform a throttle body reset so the ECU can relearn the correct opening angle and airflow values. Each manufacturer uses a different procedure. On many Japanese cars, simply turning the ignition on for a few seconds, turning it off, and then starting the engine allows the ECU to relearn the idle position automatically. 4. Resetting transmission adaptation. Modern automatic transmissions don't simply shift based on programming. They also learn your driving habits, whether you press the gas hard or lightly, whether you drive mostly in the city or on the highway, how you usually accelerate. All of this is stored in the adaptation memory. But for that same reason, after replacing transmission fluid, changing sensors, or when the car experiences a voltage drop, the old learned data can become inaccurate and cause harsh shifts, delayed shifting, or unusual RPM flaring. Many people see these symptoms and assume the transmission is about to fail, when in reality, it only needs the adaptation memory reset. Resetting adaptation is like letting the transmission start over, clearing out old habits that no longer fit. Some cars, like Mazda, allow this through the shifter. switching to M2 and then upshifting through the gears at specific RPM ranges. European cars like BMW usually require a diagnostic tool to clear adaptation data and let the transmission relearn from its baseline state. After the reset, you simply drive gently for several minutes so the transmission can re-optimize shift points, hydraulic pressure, and lockup timing. 3. Completing the drive cycle to pass emissions. Many people finish repairing the check engine issue, clear all the codes, and then still fail the emissions test. Not because the car is still broken, but because the OBD system hasn't completed the drive cycle, a required sequence of conditions that allows the ECU to verify that all emissions-related components are functioning properly. In other words, your car is fine, but the testing machine hasn't been convinced yet. A drive cycle isn't just casual driving. It requires the correct engine temperature, the correct speed, the correct fuel level, and specific phases of acceleration and deceleration. If you miss one step, one of the monitors will stay in not ready, and the station will reject the test immediately. Many people don't know this and end up returning to the station 2 or 3 times, wasting time and sometimes paying extra fees. The process usually includes letting the engine cool overnight, idling for a few minutes, driving on the highway for 10 to 20 minutes at a steady 45 to 65 mph, and then alternating light accelerations and full decelerations. 2. Handling trouble. Codes the right way, DTC reset. Many people see the check engine light, plug in a scanner, and clear the codes immediately just to get rid of the annoyance. But that's a mistake that makes later diagnosis twice as hard. Trouble codes, DTCs, are not just fault markers. They also include freeze-frame data capturing the exact moment the fault occurred. Temperature, speed, engine load, airflow, and fuel level. If you clear codes before checking them, all this data disappears, forcing technicians to guess or recommend replacing parts that may not actually be bad. Some codes exist in pending status, meaning the fault appeared once but hasn't met the conditions to turn on the light yet. If you clear these too soon, the car must restart the monitoring process, delaying the detection of the real issue. Meanwhile, permanent codes, especially emissions-related ones, cannot be erased with a scanner. They only disappear once the actual problem is fixed and the drive cycle is completed. This makes many people think the car has a code that won't reset, when the system is actually doing its job to protect emissions compliance. 1. Full system reset by disconnecting the battery. Sometimes your car starts showing a series of strange symptoms: light engine vibration, rough shifting, random warning lights, frozen infotainment, or a sluggish backup camera. These issues can easily make you think the car is wearing out, but most of them come from temporary ECU data drifting after long-term use. And the quickest way to make the car wake up, again, is a full system reset by disconnecting the battery correctly. The procedure is not complicated. Turn the ignition off, disconnect the negative terminal first, and wait at least 15-30 minutes. For a deeper reset, you can connect the 2 battery cables through a 10 ohm resistor to discharge the remaining capacitor energy safely without causing a spark. Finally, these reset tricks aren't advanced secrets. They're simple steps that help you understand your car better and avoid unnecessary expenses. Before taking your car to a shop and hearing a long list of costly guesses, try these basic methods first. Sometimes just a few minutes is enough to get the car running smoothly again. Staying proactive is always cheaper than rushing into repairs, and that's how you keep your car reliable for many more years. Did this video help you out? Subscribe and help us reach 30,000 subscribers. A $6 can of WD-40 can quietly save you from a $3,000 car repair bill, but use it in the wrong place, and it can ruin your car faster than you think. The truth is, Many drivers are spraying WD-40 on parts they absolutely shouldn't, and the consequences can include engine failure, brake loss, or even a fried electrical system. In this video, you'll learn exactly where to spray, which WD-40 product works best for each job, and one forbidden spot that even skilled mechanics avoid. Watch to the end to steer clear of costly mistakes. Comment number 1 and like this video, and I'll reveal something even more shocking. Diagnose a vacuum leak. If your car suddenly shakes at a stoplight, has erratic RPMs, or triggers a check engine light for no clear reason, a vacuum leak could be the culprit. It's a small issue with big consequences, as it disrupts the ideal air-fuel ratio, causing poor fuel economy, sluggish performance, and potentially serious damage over time. Normally, finding a vacuum leak takes time and can cost up to $150 just for diagnosis. But with a $6 can of WD-40, you can do it yourself at home. Here's how. Start the engine and lightly spray WD-40 around vacuum hoses and connections. If the engine's RPMs suddenly change, you've found the leak. WD-40 is being sucked into the gap, temporarily sealing it. The beauty of WD-40 is that it's safer than carb cleaner, which can ignite and is risky in a tight engine bay. WD-40 won't harm plastic, rubber, or sensors, so you can use it confidently near electronic components. Even veteran mechanics like Scotty Kilmer have trusted this trick for decades. But remember, this is only for diagnosis, not a permanent fix. After locating the leak, replace the faulty hose or gasket to fully resolve the issue. Ignoring it will worsen the air leak, forcing the engine to work harder, burning more fuel, and potentially damaging valves, spark plugs, or the catalytic converter, repairs that can cost thousands. With just a few minutes and less than the price of a coffee, you can catch a problem that even diagnostic scanners sometimes miss. It's a small trick with massive savings potential. 2. Protect electrical connectors. Among the most frustrating car issues, electrical problems top the list because they strike unexpectedly and are hard to trace. One day, a sensor acts up. The next, a warning light stays on, and the shop says you need a new ECU connector harness costing up to $700. Sounds daunting, but the root cause might just be moisture creeping into electrical connectors over time, causing corrosion and poor contact. This is where WD-40 shines with its original water displacement formula. A thin spray on clean, disconnected electrical connectors creates an invisible barrier, blocking water and air from reaching metal contacts. Moisture is repelled, corrosion is stopped in its tracks, and stable electrical signals extend the life of the entire system. A $6 can of WD-40 can save you from a wiring harness or ECU replacement costing thousands. For an upgrade, especially with sensitive electronics, use WD-40 Specialist Contact Cleaner. It evaporates quickly, leaves no residue, and won't attract dust later. It's the go-to choice for professional technicians working on pricey components. A keynote: never spray WD-40 on dirty or live connectors. Always disconnect power, clean off dirt, then spray. Reconnect firmly for the best connection. This simple, seconds-long task delivers years of protection. With dry, clean connectors, your car runs smoother and avoids unexpected wallet pain that every driver dreads. 3. Protector rubber seals. If you've ever struggled to open a car door on a freezing winter morning because it feels stuck to the frame, your door's rubber seals are likely deteriorating. When seals dry out, crack, or lose elasticity, the consequences go beyond a stuck door. Rainwater can seep in, soaking the carpet, causing moldy smells, damaging the interior, shorting electrical systems, and potentially leading to repair bills in the thousands if water reaches critical wiring. Many assume standard WD-40 is enough, but its mineral oil and solvent formula can degrade rubber seals over time. The right choice is WD-40 Specialist Silicone Spray, designed specifically for rubber and plastic. It creates a thin, non-sticky coating that keeps seals soft and waterproof and prevents sticking in cold temperatures. The process is simple. Clean dirt and debris from the seals with a soft cloth. Spray a light layer of silicone spray on the rubber, then wipe away excess with a dry cloth.